We are now standing next to the slave cabin, chairs, quarters, cabin at Rippa Villa. In the wintertime, if you get up on the second floor of the house, which is all the way up at Columbia Pike, you can actually see this building. The line of sight is truly amazing. You're also looking at something that is not only important and historic, it is unbelievably costly. When we began to manage the site, there had been some cursory plans to restore it that were never completed. So we began to assess what we should do and what really needed to be done. And we did not plan this, but you're going to get to see restoration in action, because the building itself is actually, as bad as it may look, it's not in terrible shape, not the wood. The biggest problem was this side. It's the chimney. The chimney was in terrible shape. And why is the chimney a problem? Well, because it's heavy. And if it toppled in, it'd take the whole building down, which was already somewhat weakened. So we rebuilt the base. Guys are now rebuilding the actual chimney. You can see they've got a little more work to do. And then when we get that part of it stabilized, and although you can see some bowing here, the building, those joists are still solid, we'll actually begin a full-scale restoration of the exterior and also the interior. Our goal, shortish term, but this is going to take a while. You can see we've actually poured concrete because we're going to build steps that are going to get you inside. But as you can see, there's work that needs to be done. It looks terrible, right? It looks rough. It is. That's why this project's going to cost north of $200,000. We got a $100,000 grant from the state of Tennessee. That's been a huge help. But look at the history. You're not just looking at one moment in time. Although built pre-war, this had a long, long post-war life. You can see these lovely square nails, but you can also see different layers of history with the corrugated metal. Look at this. The top of a can was used to seal some hole. And if you come around the back side of it, you can actually see inside. And it's another great look. It's 2 stories. You can see how the walls have a concoction of some papering. They would use newspaper, wallpaper, paint. Actually, the floor itself, not original, but clearly this was restored, not in bad shape. So we have a mishmash here of pre-war and post-war material. And it's a lot of work, but it's the only one left. It's the only such structure left on the site. We also did archaeological work in advance of this because we wanted to see if we could find the locations of other buildings. And we found them there, and we found them there. That's all going to be part of the interpretation too, as well as signage. And it may already have been obvious. You can see the paint. This building was actually painted. It appears to be red, but over time it's become like a kind of rusty orange color. So we have to decide exactly how we're going to end up painting the outside of the building as well. So just to me, this building is as key to understanding Rippa Villa as is the house that Nat Chairs and his family lived in. I don't think you can, at a site like this, have one without the other. And because we have one, as we have slave cabins and other outbuildings at Carter House and Carnton, it's all part of telling this broader narrative and really a fuller story.